Left-handed people is probably the least discriminated group of people in today's society, right up there with straight white men and, well, right-handed people. Which is great because I'm left-handed. This is probably because no one gives a damn about which hand you prefer. People care about your skin color, people care about your nationality, people care about your sexual orientation, but no one cares about handedness. Seriously. But it hasn't always been like this. A long time ago, in many parts of the world, left-handed people were forced to do things the way right-handed people do, such as writing and eating with their right hand. They were even accused of being the work of Satan, which is like... What? Imagine the first priest in the Renaissance to come up with that. He was just casually walking around the cathedral while teaching a class to write, when he suddenly sees one of the students writing with his left hand and he thinks, "Oh, I've never seen that before. Must be the work of Satan! Oh dear Lord, Satan has invaded our holy house. You will never take us, Lucifer." And the student just looks at him like, "What? Excuse me? Gay people, Jews, and Africans have been exposed to way more discrimination than left-handed people." Yes. Yes, they have. Good to hear that you know your history well. I'm not saying that left-handed discrimination history was worse than any other, nor am I saying that the other ones were not bad at all. In fact, I'm saying the opposite. Left-handed discrimination history was definitely milder than the other ones, but it doesn't change the fact that it happened. So back on topic. In English, there is no other word for left-handed apart from the slang term lefty, but in Norwegian we have two separate words, namely venstrehendt and skeivhendt. The first one, venstrehendt, is a direct translation, venstre meaning left and hendt meaning handed. However, the other one is a bit odd and very old-fashioned. Skeiv in skeivhendt means that something is off, like when you put a picture on the wall and it is slightly off. But according to Google, skeiv means queer. So, queer-handed? Queer-handed. Hashtag queer-handed. I'm not a fan of queer-handed because it sounds wrong, like everyone who are left-handed are wrong in being so. Imagine if everyone who was not straight or cisgender were called... Oh. Never mind. Often, if people ask me if I'm queer-handed instead of left-handed, I just say, there is no such thing as queer-handed, only left-handed. And they go, "Oh, okay, so I'm left-handed then." Yeah. I'm making a bigger deal out of it than it actually is. I'm not a big fan of the word, and I would like Norway to move on from ancient racism in the language. This has never happened before, but if people for some reason are adamant about saying skeivhendt, I would probably just shrug and move on with my day. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. If you absolutely want to say skeivhendt instead of left-handed, then fine, do that. It's for the most part just old people who use it anyways. Just because I'm left-handed doesn't mean I do everything the left-handed way. When I shoot with bow and arrow, I use a right-handed bow as opposed to a left-handed one, just because that's what I've learned to use. I tried using a left-handed bow once and it went surprisingly well, considering I had only held a left-handed bow just that day. I also use my left hand to wield a fork, no matter whether I have a knife or not. Fork always goes in the left hand because it's easier to control that way. I don't know what is a standard for right or left-handed people, but that's the way I do it. What is probably the most frustrating thing for me in the world when it comes to handedness is the classic Wii controller. I used to hold the controller in my left hand and the nunchuck in my right, but me and my friends played Smash on the Wii not so long ago, and I could not for the life of me decide which hand to use. Both felt wrong. In the end, I just unplugged the nunchuck. Couldn't trust it anymore. And now, a compilation of what is annoying about being left-handed. When right-handed people write on a black/whiteboard, they can rest their hands on the board while they're writing. Left-handed people have to hover their hand over what they're writing, or else they erase the lower half of what they just wrote. All lefties can relate to the following. When you write on a piece of paper with a pencil, yes, those things still exist, the part of your hand that faces down towards the paper will become grey and dirty, because the lead in the pencil gives colour to your hand. It's annoying, but you can live with it. Everything is designed for right-handed people. You name it. Bows, computer mice, guitars, guns, animation gloves, handshakes, coffee mugs, game controls, every freaking kitchen utility, university desks and scissors, all of them. Sure, they make left-handed versions of some of those objects now, but in kindergarten, you are more likely to find a right-handed scissors than a left-handed scissors, and even if they have left-handed scissors, they only have one or two, and all of the left-handed children have to share. Speaking from experience here. If I found a magical oil lamp with a genie that gave me the choice of whether I wanted to be left-handed or right-handed, I would have to go with right-handed, assuming I don't have to learn to write all over again. Just because I'm curious as for what it is like to have the entire world in favor of your handedness. Lucky bastards. Yeah, that was a bit of insight to the wild life of a lefty. If you are left-handed yourself, leave a comment below about your experience as lefty. I'm interested to hear. Don't forget to vote for your favorite element in the monthly element contest down in the comment section. Who knows, maybe your favorite element will be the next element of the month.